Today is March 8th, 2026. Again today, good and bad around me. Heard this one idiot table. That's the one the police call a liar. Don't say anything there. I'm not a liar. And name, first and last name of officer, because then I'll report them to everybody and they won't be an officer no more. Because they want the police to insult me, because what are they doing? They're trying to get the FBI case thrown out. It is a federal crime for a police officer to insult an FBI informant. It is a federal crime. It is a federal crime. 20 years. Because you can't insult my integrity from where I helped them get evidence on these people with them using the surveillance. Because if you insult the integrity of the surveillance that put all those drug dealers away, it gets thrown out as fraud. So all those drug cartels, all those serial killers, all those human traffickers will be released. That's what they're doing. And I extremely doubt a police officer would ever insult an FBI informant because they would know it's federal prison. So we're going to put it this way. Officer Mark, Officer John, you do need to get to the Tuscarawas County Courthouse September 10th, 25. The lady on March 5th, 25 said that guy acted like he was agent on my case. Like it was Agent John down there, bad-mouthing me. And nobody thought it was funny. Because it's a federal crime. More than likely it was Henry Maffey impersonating him. You need to find out who's doing it. And who is sabotaging the FBI case. Because if it's not Agent John lost his mind, then somebody's trying, where they told over what I even told my one friend Walter used to work at the prosecutor's office. They were breaking in stores around people that they were setting Agent John up to be arrested. And they were breaking in front of people. And that's what all this was about. They were setting him up to get him arrested. Then they were breaking that they were going to get the FBI case thrown out, that he was defrauding me, that he had no right around me. If he wasn't there to protect me, he had no right around me. And you can't use fraud. He was defrauding her. And so all the surveillance is under fraud. And it should never be used, everything thrown out, and then everyone released that was connected or arrested from this case. And it could never be used against him again. And they also bragged what? They were going to turn around and sue the government for false arrest under fraud. Millions of extorted dollars of the government. See, Officer Mark, Officer John, you need to get that surveillance of who was in that courthouse, because investigators are now going hot and heavy against Agent John. And then they sent out those audios of where he bullied me on the phone. Say you're lying or I'll arrest you. You had better say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. I'll come up there and put you in jail. You hear me? Fine, whatever. Ha 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 ha. And like the lady investigator said, March 5th, 2026. Nobody thought it was funny that agent showing up at the courthouse bad-mouthing her. And then sending out those emails to police departments that no one's to help her, no one's to believe her. And then audios of him bullying her, and then to say you're lying or else, and then laughing, and it sounded like pure evil, his laugh. And we could tell they even altered him and taped over parts. Tampering with police evidence on top of it. See, where all the officers have always said he was only acting that way to trick the drug cartel and get their drug connection. It's supposed to have been an act. You know, I was telling my son Danny, and I told Jen more about the FBI case and how that agent acted. She said, Karen, I hope you didn't drink the grape juice. And you don't have that problem where officers and agents go undercover and the reality of right and wrong gets blurred. And then they go along with crimes and occults. Hopefully, he didn't drink the grape juice and actually become one of those occult people. Agent John, I hope and pray. I hope and pray you'll step up and do the right thing. They're going after you. They will have you. They have you nailed for 100 years. See where the Hartville police in 23 said no one's to say a word to her. They all know that agent told on her before he talked to her. And he told all the police he was only acting that way to get the drug dealers. So what the hell's going on in Tuscarawas County and Carroll County? They think they're dumb and stupid? See, that's where I went out with an officer. He told me, he said, you can never call somebody a liar, be in any kind of place. They go to give you a statement. You don't have a right to have an opinion. You have to take their statement and follow through, if you believe them or not. Otherwise, the day that you call them a liar, they report you, you lose your badge. They can prove you called them a liar. You just bought yourself 20 years as badgering. Obstruction of justice and tampering with a witness. See, where he bullied me on the recorded line, he committed about 100 years in federal prison. 20 for badgering, 20 for admitting to telling on me, 20 for him saying he didn't blame him for trying to kill me, accessory to attempted murder, and then making fun of me for these scams, making me beg for my life. And then after he admitted, he talked to everybody and had all the church people in his office. That if you try to tell someone, I'll tell people you're crazy, da 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 da. But if you need help, the chief of police of Canton is my best friend. He'll make sure the Canton police always protect you. If an FBI agent tries to tell a victim, an informant, or a witness they can't say anything, it is a federal crime of 20 to 30 years. So think about that. Telling on me, bullying me, say you're lying or I'll arrest you, blah, 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 blah. That's 20. 20 for accessory to attempted murder. And 20 to 30 years for trying to say I couldn't say anything I already admitted everybody knew. He's getting close to 100 years. They're not playing. Where they said this whole thing, they were setting him up to go to jail for it. They were using me as a pawn. And what was funny, I didn't know what they were doing. They were setting that agent up to be arrested. You guys recorded him. I told my friend at the prosecutor's office. I let the police know years ago where they said it, and I always have an officer somewhere. Phones are bugged. With legal police surveillance. See, that's where they want the case thrown out. He was defrauding her. He didn't pay her. He told on her. He bullied her. And then he took her money. He was defrauding her. You can't use fraud. That's where their loophole they were looking for. Agent John, only thing you have to do is pay me and then defend me. Karen's one of our informants. Her case is part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. She got hurt really bad during the case. We all feel bad. But because of what she lived through, we help save a lot of lives. Talked about me like the police that worked my case. She's amazing. Of course I'm going to pay her. That's all you have to do. Everybody stays in jail and then arrest these people for trying to get your case thrown out and trying to defraud you. And I hope that was not you in the courthouse. I have a feeling it was Henry Moffey, September 10th, 25 in Tuscarawas County Courthouse, because nobody found you funny. And they don't find it funny. Those emails going out saying no one's allowed to help her, no one's to believe her. 14th Amendment of the Constitution cannot withhold protection from any U.S. citizen. So that's a federal crime. And, you bullying me on the phone, saying you're lying or arrest you. I'll put you in jail, you hear me? And then tackling evil at me. Then they taped over parts of it and they could tell. Altering police evidence is another federal crime. I told you, I think it's coming from Henry Moffey. But Officer John, Officer Mark, you need to find out. You need to get those emails. Then I had two guys saying, we help watch her. Those people really are trying to get that agent arrested, sending out those emails. I know they are. They bragged from the beginning of the case. They were using me as a pawn. It was funny. I didn't know what they were doing. So funny she don't know what's going on. And then how they framed me, the Darkson told to say it, the photoshopped of washing, how they framed me, but I didn't know what they were doing. Then finally that they're exposing corrupt law enforcement in this area publicly, and they set that agent up to be arrested. You do realize they testified to investigators that they paid that agent off before he talked to me, and that's why he let all this happen. That he took a payoff. They were talking about him being paid off from Canton to Magnolia to Waynesburg. That none of this is funny. Agent John, for God's sakes, just pay me and stand up for me. Otherwise, your case against a cartel will get thrown out and every serial killer will be released. Every human trafficker. And like when I go up into Akron, we all know Karen's Well is still open. They either call it Karen Around the House or Karen's Well. It's part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. You know what I think is rich? When that lady investigator said that, how evil it was listening to that recording, you cackling. And said, the other lady there said, well, she told on who was actually really doing it to her. They like to sue her for telling on them for doing this to her. She said, that's absolutely ridiculous. They can't sue her for telling on them. Exactly. Oh yeah, we had her drugged, beaten, raped, and almost murdered, but she told it was us. Kiss my ass. They ridiculous. They're all just nothing but thieves. I heard other people talk about that so-called attorney for children, that Will guy, that Henry Moffey guy, how he terrorizes all kinds of people out of money. Well, did you think I was only one? It's an extortion group. They called it a large extortion group in 22. Now, do I think it's funny that, where if, you think about everything, where Anita and Pam were talking at Apostolic Church of Barberton right before the case started. Mary's niece was willing to kill someone for the opportunity to date Dave. Said, just the thought of being able to date Dave and someone like him, she would kill to even go out with him. You know that they're that poor family that's so in debt. It would make a big difference in their life. And Dave was so excited. He had never had anybody willing to kill somebody just to date him. I got on the car and said, Dave, what are they talking about? He's like, he said, I don't know what they're talking about or who. Yes, he did. It was him. And then you think of the short blonde-haired girl showing up and saying she's retired Judge Pete's daughter, FBI agent Will's daughter. And here, all she is Mary's niece. Her and her dad are running a drug scam. Told you. Strange, hated the government. Okay. And then Katie run around telling everybody I threatened her and I haven't talked to her in 15 years. The last thing I said was hi to her when she walked by in the mall before all that crazy crap with Dave in 2011 and her telling everybody she was cheating on him and all this other stuff. And we walk into Macy's. Dave, are you cheating on me with that girl? It's ridiculous because she dates Tim. Okay? She's dated Tim since 01. So, 01 or 02. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. And he said, Karen, I'd rather kiss a cow's butt than that fat, ugly heifer. And I sort of giggled. We're by the process of Macy's. Can she hear us down the mall? No. And I said, Dave, are you cheating on me with that girl? He said, Karen, she's pathetic. Making up stories for people to feel sorry for. She's nothing but pathetic. And making up that married man would leave his wife for her. She's nothing but pathetic. Okay? Well, we started walking on the other side of the kiosk. We walked, if we didn't get a chance to go on the other side of the kiosk, we didn't say anything when we walked by. The only way he'd know about her his mean joke and that I dare laugh is if he told her. And that may be why he told that mean joke, just to make me giggle. Because we didn't talk to her. I figured he just said it so I wouldn't question him anymore. Told you, she made up stories of supposed to caught her and Dave in bed, chased around the house with a knife and down the street. I never caught him with no one, and none of that happened. She told people Dave moved out and was going out with her, and he's still at home. I mean, it got to the point of craziness, the stuff that was coming out of that church. And that's when I went over to Francis's. She lived over on Avis, the next street over. I said, Francis, go for a walk with me. I said, where are these people getting all these crazy stories? She's like, Mary hates you. That's Katie's mom. I said, but why would she hate me? I haven't seen her in 8 years. She stopped dead in her tracks. She started laughing like this. And I'm looking at her. She said, is that what's going on? I said, what's going on? You don't know? I said, no, what? Never mind. I said, I haven't seen her in 8 years. Just lying. Run around lying for people's attention. Just making up lies. That's like Jim Pridgett at Blaylock's. He said, Karen, I hate going to work and when I have to sit and work by that Brother English guy. All I hear all day long is how you're drunk and on drugs and crazy. I come to church and you're fine. I said, I haven't seen him in 8 years. Just lying on somebody they haven't even seen. Making up stories. See what I mean? And then to find out that girl was telling people I threatened her, I hadn't even talked to her in 15 years. The last thing I said to her was hi, because my sister Linda will not confront her husband Tim. She was out one day in like 01, 02, seen Tim with Katie. Well, every time we went to leave, she went to follow him. They were cheating. She had my mom follow him. She had Lori follow him. And they were cheating. She wouldn't confront him. And if she's not going to confront him, we're not going to say anything. We all sat and talked one night. And that nobody thought she could support herself. That she couldn't go out and get a job and support herself. And if she's not going to say anything, it's her life and her choice. She knows he's cheating. So we stay out of it. So when you see him, he acts stupid of, hi. It's not my place to say anything. It's Linda's life. But Linda also was the one following him in November of 03, got caught. They thought it was me, where she came up to me. I was calling him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry, be careful. He took my kid and pushed him to suicide, made up that baby lie, called me a faker when it was a medication or medical malpractice. He already knew. Dave told him that it was a medicine making me sick. Hmm? He made up that baby lie to get rid of me real quick, pushed my kid to suicide, make sure I would come back. I told you I wanted nothing to do with those people. My kid was in counseling for 2 years. For 6 months, I wasn't allowed to leave him alone. And I had to pay for medication, counseling, tutoring. And you know what? I had to go out and get a full-time job. A full-time job. And then hire babysitters to sit with a 14-year-old so nothing bad happened to him. For 6 months. He got down to 118 pounds. I almost had to hospitalize him. Became bulimic. Would Dave help me with any of that? No. I had to do it all myself. Because by then our insurance had elapsed. And he needed all that help. All because Linda was following Tim and Katie. And they thought it was me. So in 2011, I'm going down to Blaylock's church. And people are making up horrible stories of she's drunk and drugs and run around the front yard in a bikini. I didn't own a bikini. I don't drink and do drugs. And if I was running around the front yard, I was chasing a toddler. It's absolutely ridiculous. They made up a story that you're supposed to be drunk and watching porn and being weird with that. That's disgusting. Dave was so pissed at that one. He said, "We don't even talk that way, Karen. We have a rated G house. We have little ones over here all the time. How we don't even sit around people talking like that. How dare those people ever say anything dirty about our house?" He was pissed. And then one night, I just got done watching Danny's twins. They were small and Gabe. They picked him up, and about an hour later, he came home from church, sitting there watching TV, waiting for him. He came home, and he beat me bad enough and sexually assaulted me till I was bloody. And I'm screaming, why? And when he got done, I mean, it was horrifying. And I'm crying, why? You'll learn to keep your filthy mouth shut. I said, filthy mouth shut? Danny just left with the kids an hour ago. I've been sitting here. He looked like he was going to puke. He looked like he was going to puke. He quit his church. I told you right before that, when they were making up crazy stories, I went over to like 2 services over there thinking somebody, and I was scared to death to go in there. After they pushed Danny to suicide, I was scared to death of those people. Went in 2 services with him thinking somebody come up and say something to me. Tell me why they're making up stories. Nobody told me, and I didn't go back. I had nothing to do with those people except for those 2 services, and I was with Dave the whole time. 2 services. Trying to see if they would come up and say something to me, and they didn't. When they were making up stories in 2011, before he came home and beat me. Now, I want you to think about that. In 15 years, before the case started, Dave quit his church. 5, 6 years? He didn't even have anything to do with that church. So what were they doing involved? I had nobody's phone number, no contact, avoided those people. My kid was in counseling, had tried to kill himself twice because of that freaking church. They terrorized my mom and nailed her tires till she moved out of town. And it's documented in Stark County at the Child and Adolescent Center and the Crisis Center that Danny told them that Strange took him that day. Screamed at him on the pulpit till he passed out. Starved him all day. Wouldn't let him leave. And screamed at him until he did what he was told. And he didn't remember half the day. And that's why he tried to kill himself twice. Do you think I wanted anything to do with those people? No. So, what on earth? See, that's where, if you go November 23rd, 25, where those girls showed up that they were wanting to run a scam on the government to extort money, they needed someone to run a scam on. Dave was already connected to him, and he agreed that they could do it to me. They made sure he got everything during the divorce. December 1st, 25, Walmart 62 would still have it. They'd still have it. An investigator comes in. Now, there's a pretty Michelle with long blonde hair has been telling on all of them. They're threatening her, too. For telling on them. That these people admitted that this whole thing was a scam to extort money out of the government. Her ex-husband was involved. And that the doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. She actually doesn't know who he is. It's HIPAA, people. It's a federal crime to have a doctor say anything about anybody. See, even my boss is the owner of a company. It's totally illegal. No doctor could ever say anything about you, and they couldn't be with them. We're talking 30 years, and then passing out medical records. The thing is Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone. A stupidness. Federal crimes being slaughtered. And then that investigator, after they got done with the dirty doctor not being one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. And she doesn't know who he is, and the guy Pete running his mouth about her is just some guy Dave hired on his own. She don't even know who he is. These people admitted to using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. And that tape of Weird With Yourself is photoshopped of washing in this shower. And they photoshopped everything. And it was just a scam to extort money from the government. They thought they could scare me into calling the FBI. The FBI would open a case, and that agent would hand them the informant money. Quick, easy money, a scam on the government. Like the FBI is stupid and don't know federal laws. Okay, March 27th, 25, an investigator, the pretty Michelle, had got it out of her about the dirty doctor. And that when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent at work. And soon as she told him that, he broke up with her. April 17th, 25, Carl seen her and heard her in the parking lot of Sheetz in Hartville. She was still so distraught over that guy breaking up with her and screaming how soon as she told him about the doctor not being one of mine, works for them, and they had lied and she don't know who he is. When they bashed in my head, they tried to leave me incompetent or kill me, and it didn't work. And soon as she told that guy, he broke up with her and she really liked him. Well, they started leaving threats on that little girl. And I am so proud of her. You know what she did? She went badass and started telling all of them. That's how you stop them. Okay, April 19th, 25. I'm in Hartville. The investigators working the case. How dumb are these people? And how stupid are they trying this with us? Nobody ever fell for the dirty doctor scam, taping you unaware, confessing your crimes, sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce. There's like 30 years in that statement. It's a 10-year sentence for a doctor taping you unaware. It's 10 years for them to be in it with Dave. And then 10 years making it public without all the other accessory to crimes. Get the idea? It's just a fraud scheme. Okay? Nobody ever fell for the dirty doctor scam, taping you unaware, confessing your crime, sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce. And it sounded mechanical. We could tell it wasn't even you. Or they said they drugged you and told you to say it. We could tell it wasn't even you. It sounded mechanical, where the lady investigator said they could tell they taped over that agent, parts of it, bullying me. But listening to him cackle was pure evil. I know it was. Okay? And nobody ever fell for the tape of weird with yourself. We knew it was photoshopped or washing. But if these people are so dumb, they thought they could pull this on us. We told Agent John to go to that church and act dumb like these people and find out who was involved. And trust me, we all realized how not funny it was when the Texas group showed up and they said that Dave hired them and they worked for a drug lord. Get the idea? Now, Officer Mark, Officer John, okay, or whatever officers assigned to me, you either need to get a hold of them or you need to call the Carroll County Sheriffs, the Tuscarora Sheriffs, get a hold of that courthouse, get September 10th, 25, the surveillance, find out who was in there. And you need that email and where it's coming from. Of them sending out emails of that agent bullying me, and they're even altered. And him cackle where you say you're lying, I'll arrest you, I'll put you in jail. He can't even insinuate I was lying. It's a federal crime. It's badgering. And he can't tell anybody. They can't say anything either. That's blackmail. It's if an FBI agent tries to tell an informant, a witness, or a victim they can't say anything, it is obstruction to justice, tampering with a witness, and it's blackmail. It's 20 years. Just like they can't bully you into saying you're lying, it's the same. Or they'll put you in jail. See, they got, what they did to me is so ridiculous and so Twilight Zone. Stocking tapes with photoshopped of washing, dirty doctors breaking HEPA. It's Twilight Zone. But they set up that agent perfectly. Saying that he took a payoff. And they paid him off to do this. Him telling on me for calling the FBI on a recorded line. Admitting he already met with everybody in their office. Knew they were trying to kill me. Because the strangest 15-year-old lied to cover up Tim and Katie. Mocking me. Making me beg for my life. Bullying me some more. Then list me informant with money and immunity, then threaten me if I can't say anything, and he's already admitted everybody knew, then it becomes stupid. The whole thing was stupid. That's where the Hartville police said that agent said he was only acting that way to get the drug dealers. It's not an act. He will end up in jail. Someone does need to arrest him. But the whole case against the drug cartel will get thrown out. All he has to do is pay me and defend me. And Officer Mark, Officer John, I know you defend me to the limits. You need to call those sheriff's office. They are not supposed to ever be bad-mouthing an FBI informant. It's a federal crime. It can cost the case. Like they said, she was part of a really big bust. Dave in the church is my ass, Agent John. I got you drug cartel and led to the rest of Trakasami. My God, most people win awards for that. I just want my freaking money. And these people threaten to put you in jail over this? They got you nailed. All you have to do is say it was an act. I'm paid, Karen, and here it is. And we appreciate her help and correct those sheriffs. You better not be ever calling an FBI informant a liar and going along with this. See, anybody goes in there and calls me a liar, they're to call the FBI and say such and such and turn that over to the FBI. See what I mean? Need to find out who's doing this. And see, that's where that Michelle, that Henry Mavi, and it's just Katie's family, Mary's family, running a drug scam with the big drug dealers they owed money. And they already confessed September 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning, hell was breaking loose of the guys running it said that no one's to say a word to her again in her life. They found out this whole thing was your family's dad to drug dealers. Is that what's going on? Yes. Does she know who you are? No, I don't want her to know who I am. She don't even know who you are. You had her skull bashed in, had her raped, had her tortured. And because your family was in debt to drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. I listened to her and her friend Matt on January 13th, 23. The Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life for letting those people be human trafficked, and it was your family letting them be human trafficked? Yes. And then she said, in your family even human trafficked people to pay back those drug dealers? Yes. And he's yelling at her. And he got a full confession. And your family's the one that incited her new husband's family to take his farm from him and incite him to do all those things? Yes, but I really wanted that farm. And then, did you know that the original drug cartel already confessed they photoshopped everything? Yes. Did you know that the original cartel already confronted her ex-husband that if he knew it was a medication error, medical malpractice and fraud that made her sick before? Yes. You knew that? Yes. And they encouraged them to sue those doctors for years? Yes. Then you put January 1926, Henry Mafi showing up. How he was so glad he never met me in person and all this other crazy crap. And how he's got a judge's friend that's going to enter everything in court and pull a fast one on the FBI and steal all the money from the case while they're busy with minutes. And he'll be long gone with all the money. And they won't realize what happened till it's too late. Well, I told them and I told the president. And where to find him. Where him in that restaurant walking out. See where they bragged. They're doing all this. But Officer Mark, Officer John, you need the surveillance of September 10th, 25. Tuscarawas County Courthouse. Who was in there saying they were an FBI? Bad-mouthing me. Trying to get the case thrown out. Get those emails from the sheriff's office. And find out who's sending them. And they already know they're altered. And they already know he bullied me and cackled and how evil it is. And these people already are witnessing against Agent Johnny took a payoff to investigators to do all this. I'm going to upload this.